This video will show you how you can use the RTS, Rotate Translate Scale command to adjust some points. What I've got here, this 1 and 2, these are some design points, and these 100 series points are what is being shot out in the field. So what we want to do here is adjust these points so that they line up with 1 and 2, where point 100 is going to go to point 1, point 101 to point 2, and everything is rotated and shifted down to match these. So we'll have the structure here roughly in this location. So we'll go into the Start menu, and from the Home we'll go into the Calculations menu, and then Rotate Translate Scale. The first time that you go into the RTS command, you won't get this message, but it will come up on subsequent times. It's just saying that there are some previous Rotate Translate Scale values in there, and if you reset them, it'll just kind of set them all back to default, whereas clicking No will retain their previous values. So I'm going to click Yes to reset those because I'm not interested in previous translations. Alright, and so we want to do two things at once here. We're going to do a rotation and a translation. So the translate, we want to go from our original point, which was going to be point 100, to the destination point, which was point number 1. Now we could either just type those numbers in, or because they are an extended edit fields, you can just double click on it, which will take us to the map, or we can just pick on the point graphically. So we want to translate from point 100 to point 1. And we're going to leave everything else because the entire translation is going to be based on this amount. And if I go onto the rotate screen here, we can put in our rotation amount as well. So our rotation base point, again, is going to be point number 100. And we want to calculate the rotation based on a difference between two lines. So the original direction is going to be that line from point 100 to point 101. We can inverse that again just by double-clicking on this extended edit field and then picking the inverse option. We've got two different options that we could do here, either the calculator or the inverse, which is why the pop-up menu comes. So I'll pick inverse. And we want to start at point 100 and at point 101. So that's being calculated as 30 degrees. The destination direction, we can do the same thing. Inverse from point 1 to point 2, which is going to be a 0 degree. So based on these two values, it's going to calculate the amount that it has to rotate. If we hit the Adjust Points button, it's going to do both the rotation and the translation, as well as any scaling if you've entered values there. So I'm going to use the entire 100 range here, point 100 through 110, just to make sure I cover them all. And it tells us that it's processed 6 points. And we also get a message that the occupy and backside points have been moved. So this is just sort of a note to you to know that those have been changed and that you should reoccupy that point and shoot the backside again. So everything has now been shifted down to match point 1 and point 2. If you wanted to undo that, maybe you put in something in error, we can go back into the RTS command. I'm not going to reset them this time. And we've got this Restore Points option down at the bottom. If we click this, it will sort of undo the previous RTS and move those 6 points that were moved back to their original location. If I close this, back where they started.